Now let's review this scene where Nicky and Ace go for a drive around Fremont Street. So at this point in the movie, 29 minutes and 43 seconds, Nicky and Ace decide to take a drive around Vegas and have a talk. Scorsese uses this sequence to showcase Vegas signage and give the impression that the glow of neon not only permeates virtually every space you're in, it's inescapable. The first sign we get to see helps set exactly where they are and what direction they're traveling in, which is north on Casino Center Boulevard, in between the Horseshoe and Fremont casinos, past Fremont Street, headed towards Ogden. Let me explain what you're seeing and why it tells us that. First, we get to see the red and pink letters of the word parking scrolling upside down and backwards across the windshield on Nicky's side of the car, followed by one of Fremont's two tallest marquees. At the top of the sign, or at the bottom of the reflection, something appears that has different color accents to it. It's the name Sam Boyd, the owner of the Fremont, located at the top center of the sign. His name is at the top of all the signs where the name Fremont appears. We know this is one of the two tall marquee signs at the property because if it was one of the two corner signs the property is best known for, located on Fremont Street, we would have seen the words casino in lights before we saw the name Fremont or Sam Boyd. We know this is the sign at the back of the property for a few reasons. First, the word Fremont is completely housed inside the signage and surrounded by lights. Only the sign at the back of the property is designed like this. The one at the front of the property has part of the F and T in the word Fremont extend just beyond the sides of the sign. Second, the parking sign reflection we first saw. The Fremont only has one vertical parking sign like this, and it's located next to the back Fremont marquee. It also informs us that they're traveling north on Casino Center Boulevard towards Ogden, because not only is that where the sign is located, traveling north is the only way you could have gotten this reflection on Nicky's side of the car. If you were traveling south, not only would the reflection be seen on Ace's side of the car, but you would have seen the Fremont sign before you saw the parking sign. Lastly, driving north on Casino Center Boulevard geographically supports what happens next. For the record, these marquees establish another case of the property's evolution in the movie landscape being different than the real one at the time. Because these Fremont marquees didn't exist in 1971. In fact, Sam Boyd didn't buy the Fremont until 1983. The signage here didn't debut at the Fremont until 1988, the same year Binions bought the Mint and expanded the Horseshoe into its space. Before we move to the next scene, the camera pans over to Ace just in time for us to see him turn left, which geographically means they are now headed west on Ogden towards the California. An argument can be made that you see the blue glow of the Horseshoe behind Ace while he's making this turn, but there's no definitive characteristics to confirm that. At 29 minutes and 51 seconds, the location is confirmed and geographically in sequence when you see the California, now to Nicky's right, in the background behind him. The first clue that this is the California is the vertical sign spelling California along the side of the hotel tower located on North 1st Street, just before California's parking garage, in between Ogden and Stewart. If you didn't know it existed, you wouldn't know that that's what this is, as you don't get to see the entire sign, and what you do see is blurry. And for the record, that sign along the side of the California didn't exist in 1971. In fact, the California didn't exist until 1975, and when it opened, its signage didn't look anything like this. So the California existing in 1971, and looking like this, documents another difference between the movie and the real geography of the time. At 29 minutes and 52 seconds, we see the camera switch back to Ace's side of the car for his reaction to Nicky's comment about moving to Las Vegas. A second later, at the top right of the screen, you'll notice what looks like the bottom of a sign, something in red outlined by chasing lights. Believe it or not, this little, seemingly indistinct sign gives us Ace's exact geographic location. What you're seeing is the parking sign for the Las Vegas Club, located on the back side of the building, across the street from the California, on Ogden, in between 1st and Main Street. Something you may find disorienting is that to westbound drivers, it appears the building stops at that point, just past this sign, and you start to get what appears to be the view of another property in the distance, just past the steering wheel. Hold tight because you'll get further confirmation of where we are, as well as explain what that is in just a moment. But before that, we switch back to Nicky, and you see the First and Ogden corner entrance of the California, which would be geographically sound from the last time we saw him. However, another switch back to Ace, and at 20 minutes and 56 seconds, you see that sign we mentioned in the distance, beyond the Las Vegas Club parking sign, says casino. This is the Plaza's sign, located along the northernmost wall of the property, facing their north parking lot, around 500 feet southwest of where Ace is shown. This is the same sign we pointed out in one of the views given to us during the car bombing sequence. But wait, how can you see the plaza from this location? That's because even in 1994, when the movie was being filmed, the Las Vegas Club's northernmost hotel tower, located on the southeast corner of Ogden and Main Street, didn't exist. So now that we have those two geographic locations established, that means Ace is roughly half a city block ahead of Nicky. Nicky is at the corner of First and Ogden, per the corner marquee of the California, and Ace is a block ahead of him, coming up on the Ogden and Main Street intersection. When we're back on Nicky at 29 minutes and 58 seconds, he's pretty much geographically caught up to Ace, based on the California signage that runs along Ogden between First and Main Street. However, when we switch back to Ace's side of the car at 30 minutes and 1 through 6 seconds, he's back at the Ogden and First intersection where Nicky just was. This now means Nicky is roughly 200 feet ahead of Ace, next to California signage between First and Main Street. You can tell where Ace is by the blue neon of Binion's Pork Shore on the southeast corner of the intersection, and the signage for the Las Vegas Club parking garage on the southwest corner of it. At 30 minutes and 6 seconds, the shot flips back to Nicky, and you see the Sahara signage next to him, which is almost 2.5 miles south of where either of the characters were last established to be. The specific signage. We hope you've enjoyed this premium content preview. For access to the rest of this episode, as well as all the premium content we offer, go to patreon.com/360vegas. A monthly subscription will give you access to the enhanced version of the podcast, often with bonus content, exclusive podcasts like 360 Vintage Vegas, 360 Origins, 360 Vegas Movies, insider information on all things 360 Vegas, 360 Vegas Vacation, and early access to everything. To subscribe, simply go to patreon.com/360vegas. That's PATREON. Or you can find a link to Patreon on our blog, 360vegaspodcast.com.